So when we landed in Iceland, we felt a little crazy because I forgot there was a time difference for a moment. So we felt a little tired because I hadn't prepared to sleep so little. But nonetheless, we started our day off right into driving and we were going to do the Golden Circle. And we were just so grateful that if we're driving all day, we're getting to see the most insane views, truly.
That's like 6, maybe 7.
Thingvellir was definitely the best way to start the trip. It was a great walk to get our legs moving after being on our flights, and it was so cool to see our first foss, so loved that a lot. And yeah, it was great, but we only stayed there for an hour because we were starting to get hungry, and we had some plans for a cool place. Currently sitting outside by myself, outside the place because somehow we finessed a reservation. But Carlos is sleeping because we got zero sleep last night. And I keep forgetting there's a 4-hour time difference, so it's like about 11-ish here. But at home it'll be 7, so we kind of have almost pulled an all-nighter at this point. And we're going to continue to do so. Yeah, I'm super excited. This place smells heavenly. It is gorgeous. I wish I had a journal right now, but this will be my little journal entry. Fridheimer was so good, and it was so cool to sit next to the basil where it's grown and the tomatoes. It's all grown in-house, and the bread was insane. I literally packed some for the road and I carried it like in all various containers, but it was so good. It was a little bit of a splurge, and this mocktail was so yummy, and one of the best parts of the trip, honestly. We also stopped at Wakadalar Geothermal Park on our way around Ring Road, and it was super cool to see a geyser go off in real life. I've never seen that before, and I just love all the geothermal activity. After the lovely Gold Foss, we stopped for gas because it was needed, and we saw a rainbow, and we're just chatting and listening to George Michael. It was pretty elite, but we had decided what our next stop would be because we had a hike we wanted to do and very little time left. So we stopped at Carrot Crater and just did a little walk around, and then we realized we are soaked to the bone, and it would just be nice to head back. So that's what we did. By the time we were driving back, we were just absolutely gassed. So it was nice to get back to Reykjavik and see another insane rainbow, which was so cool. And we went to our hostel, City Hub Reykjavik, and we spent some time in the hot tub, and that was nice with an insane sunset. And then showered and pretty much just went straight to bed, and it was so lovely and one of the best nights of sleep I had. So it was great.
Checked my phone and I felt wide awake.
As we were heading out after a pretty nice and slow morning, I saw Summersby, which is one of my favorite drinks, and it's only available in Europe, so that was cool to see. And yeah, it was just really awesome to have a slower morning to start another long day. So windy out here. Oh no! No! So, of course, we go to this river, and I did not know that it was quite a hike to it. And of course, it was a beautiful, stunning hike, but we were chilled to the bone. We were chilled. It was so windy. It was crazy. We actually made a TikTok about it. But I don't even have video footage of the river, but we sat in it, and it's genuinely so hot. It's crazy to me that it's all natural, and I feel like my skin was gonna melt off. I guess I don't take hot enough showers, but it was very beautiful, but very, very chilly. While we were thawing out in our car, some people knocked on our window, and we actually brought them back to town because they were too cold to even start the hike. But they were super sweet, and one of them had a really cool name. Some of my favorite moments from the trip are the ones where we stop and see the horses or the sheep, and this was no exception. Serious case of the mango muncher. This waterfall was so pretty, and I'm glad we caught it because I didn't realize how quickly time caught up with us. But it was cool to see both waterfalls here, and I took some really good photos for Carlos, but I don't know if he did the same. No, I'm just kidding. But we had a fun time here, but we were trying to rush, like kind of rushing to finish this all up at the end of the day. We arrived at Skogafoss later than I planned, and maybe that was poor planning on my part, so we just decided it'd be more fun to go back in the morning. But we arrived at our place, and it's where we were staying in a tent, and we had our ramen, our noodles, and just I repacked my clothes. But it was kind of a journey to find our tent in the middle of the night, and then getting inside the tent was also very interesting. You'll see.
It's your bed.
Hell no.
Alright,
That
well,
is huge.
I'm gonna shake that off outside. Okay, alarm.
I'm so glad we went back to Skogafoss because it really is one of the cooler parts of the trip. Like, all of the trip's obviously amazing, but I don't regret spending more time with it than we had allocated the day before. So even though it took away from some other things this day, I have no regrets, and we saw a bunch of beautiful waterfalls, and I wish there was more hours in the day because I would have loved to see even more waterfalls on our hike up, but damn, they were so pretty. After we stopped at this lighthouse to go check out a lookout, and it was so pretty and extremely windy, like crazy windy. Our car was shaking. It was insane, but nonetheless very beautiful. It was very cool seeing the black sand along the beach, and then we went down to the black sand beach, and it was so incredibly beautiful. Really cool to see something that I've actually seen in movies before. It reminds me of Lost in Space. I love that show. We also stopped at this beautiful church in Vik, and I noticed it while we were getting gas, and I was like, we gotta go there. So it was really cool just to check out and walk around, and I wish we had a little more time to do this walk that people were doing in the back. We really needed to get the ball rolling, so we kept driving, and we made a short stop at these lava fields that were on our drive, and it was one of those moments where it genuinely felt like I was on another planet. Like, how insane is this? Crazy. Crazy. We kept driving, and I saw this river, so of course I said we had to stop, and I had to take a lot of photos because how can you not stop for another foss or river? While we kept driving, we saw this beautiful rock formation, and it kind of reminded me of the ones you'd see in maybe Utah or the Grand Canyon, but just darker and Icelandic, I guess, if that makes any sense. But this drive was probably one of my favorite days of the trip because it was so otherworldly, and we saw another rainbow, and we saw most of the glaciers on this portion of the drive. We were only able to fit in one hike for the day, and unfortunately we couldn't get any view of any of the waterfalls, so it was a little bit of a shame, but we did get across the river, which was pretty cool, and didn't get really to do that in any other part of the trip. But after that, we stopped at these beautiful ice formations and quickly made a stop at Diamond Beach, but at this point we were so cold and so wet, so we made it a quick stop and realized it was time to head back and end our day. Alright, happy Monday, post 6-7 weekend. And so we forgot to book a place for this night because we were going to stay in Hoffen, but the places were looking like $400 a night, and we were just like, oh, let's wait it out. And I think we just forgot that we had to book that. So we booked at a camping site with one last spot, and it's not the end of the world. Like, they have facilities and stuff, but facilities by like one bathroom, one toilet. It's not the end of the world, but when we got to the tent, it's just like, we had our tent trauma last night, but tonight we are sleeping in the car because we're trying to be baddies on a budget. Maybe we'll even see Northern Lights in here. That's pretty optimistic, but I honestly am so happy to be laying down. Like, it's so, oh my god, I'm just so tired, if you couldn't tell, because last night, yeah, we couldn't sleep. I slept probably 2 hours, Carlos did the same, so, yeah, oh my god. But tomorrow we can take it a little more easy, but today was just, and very rainy, rainiest day yet. I felt like a wet sock, so, it was a great day though. That's like a rat's nest. This next morning, we woke up kind of not sure what to do with our day, but we did make a stop at this lighthouse. And we were just gonna see how the weather was, which was not very spectacular, so we decided maybe no long hikes today. So we just drove and kind of just figured it out as we went, but I'm so glad we just took it very slow, and we stopped at this beautiful waterfall on the side of the road, which is honestly one of the best sights from the whole trip, and we had it all to ourselves. Super cool. And we also stopped at this waterfall as well, which was a little busier and also just very rainy. Same as before. But yeah, it was very nice, a nice slow morning. Okay, we're on our drive, our daily jet, and we're driving through a canyon, and it's kind of foggy. Very pretty though. I'm just wondering what it would look like if there wasn't any fog, because it's so pretty, and there's like a bajillion waterfalls. So, yeah. Waterfall 87. We carried on until we made it to Seyðisfjörður, which was a really cool town where we just walked around and kind of did our own thing. And we did stop at a gift shop where Carlos got me this super cute Icelandic exclusive Moomin mug. Moomin, I hope I'm saying that right. And we stopped for a moment. There's this little cool chair from an old movie theater, just very chill. We stopped at this waterfall on the way out of town, and we came to the decision to stop at Vakbats, which is the most relaxing thing we did on this trip. Definitely beats Blue Lagoon by a landslide, for me, at least personally. And it was just the perfect temp. There was 3 pools you could go from, and they're all different temperatures, and you can have drinks, and it just feels so natural. Like, it was the most relaxed I felt, honestly, in a long time, and it was definitely needed in the middle of this trip. Happy Wednesday? Halfway through the trip. That's insane. Wow. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay. Yeah, we're halfway through the trip. Yeah, we had quite a night last night. In our little camping pod, I saw a spark on the heater and we were like, hell no, we gotta turn that off. I mean, it probably was dust or something because when we turned it off, it felt like we were ice cubes. It was so cold. Oh my god, can you tell I haven't even brushed my hair yet? Oh! Yeah, it's early. But yeah, last night was chilly and Carlos like went out for a second and stepped out of the pod and he faintly saw some northern lights and I stepped out 3 seconds later and they were gone. But yeah, here he is. I wish I had it in me to want to do more hikes. But damn, it's cold here. And I knew that coming into it. But it's raining every day this week. I was thinking about us doing one today, but I don't know. It gets tiring. It gets pretty tiring doing a hike in the rain every day and then you don't have anywhere to dry your clothes. Like our car is literally turned into a drying rack. We had to start off our morning with this beautiful waterfall, of course. But we went to Studlagil Canyon and I was very excited, but we did go to the wrong side, which I didn't know about, so that's a forewarning. We had to drive around to the other side and do the hour-long hike because I wanted to see the full view. So that was worth it and very rainy, but great for a long chat, of course. After our long walk, we saw this waterfall, which was near the parking lot, which is so sick, and we drove over this bridge with all this raging water. I was like, what? This is insane. And we drove through literally a different planet. There's too many biomes, like way more than Minecraft, that's for sure, to count. In Iceland, it's actually mind-boggling. And at this point, we stopped to see another foss, but this was the strongest, I believe, in Europe, Dedi Foss. It's funny because at this point in the day, we were hoping to see the same woman we kept seeing at literally every stop we made. She had a pink hat, and it was just funny. And she somehow was faster than us. I don't know how. She was not here, unfortunately. But when we stopped here, the first thing that stuck out was the smell. It was so beautiful, and the landscape was pretty otherworldly, I guess. But it was so stinky. But it's definitely very sulfuric, so that's why. But it was so cool. I felt like I was in the land before time. We also stopped at this little lake on our drive back, but we were kind of getting tired, so we didn't make many other stops except for this Game of Thrones location. This video is like literally from my favorite part of the trip when these sheep were behind the gate and we had to move and they all just ran off, and it was so funny the way they ran. Like, it was just their little floofy butts. I don't know, it was just cracking us up. Time skip because we're at our new guest house.
Okay.
Y'all, it's already almost 10 here, but it's dead silent in this place. And we are trying to go. I have no idea what the plan is for today. Yeah, I don't know. We're in the most beautiful place ever. And we saw the northern lights last night. Like, just barely, but super cool. Bye, Tungalending Guest House. I loved Tungalending Guest House so much, and it's so cool because everyone else who's staying there is staying in their own little rooms, and they're doing puzzles, and it's just cute. Everyone's just relaxing by the water, and that's what this place is all about. I could imagine spending like literally so much time here. I was sad to leave.
Wow, that was amazing to see once again.
An hour out being done with whale watching, and I feel like a person again. I'm sure Carlos does too. And now we're heading to this waterfall it's just called waterfall, just Foss. And it's supposed to be warm like a hot spring and kind of out off the beaten path.
Hold. Put it up for a second. Get cold. Back in.
Since we had spent most of our day whale watching, it didn't leave much room for aquarery, exploring, I guess. And so I definitely just wanted to make a stop at this pink lamppost because I thought it was kind of iconic. But unfortunately, she has fallen and she's temporarily closed. So yeah, I was a little sad, but it was funny, honestly. And we stopped at this beautiful church, as well as just admire all the stoplights because they're shaped as hearts. Like, I wish I could have seen them or admired them for longer, but it was cool to see anyways. And we got to our stay and we met this really amazing girl who is now working at the farm, and it was just a really cool experience. And they had the cutest pets, literally the cutest pets. And the cat's name was Sneedle, I think. I don't know. I just keep thinking about her name. It was something like that, and it made me really hop onto the black cat train because isn't she the cutest thing ever? Buenos dias, happy Saturday. We're on our drive to Gleaner.
Isn't it Friday?
Damn it! Happy Friday. We're going to Gleaner Waterfall today, and it's very misty, pretty out right now. But I hope this is redemption for the hike that we summited, or the hike that we DNF, I guess, or DNS, did not see. So hopefully it's a similar vibe to that, and not rainy. I don't know, it's looking semi-okay, but we're also 2 hours and 50 minutes away, so who knows. Sad though, the place we stayed at last night was really cool. I didn't fully expect it to be in someone else's house, but I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed. And, yeah, Carlos and I love the cats, and We made a few stops before the big hike, but it truly made up for what we could have missed tenfold. It was so gorgeous. We accidentally took a wrong turn, but we still finished it in under 2 hours. And it was such a journey up to the top, and it was so rewarding. I felt like we were in Paradise Falls and up. It was so stunning, and it really, like, the videos don't even get close to capturing it. It was insane. Alright, just went to the gas station and got Appleton, which is like orange Fanta, because Carlos got it and it's good. And then these, which are gonna be bomb. I'm gonna get right into it and rip these apart. Got to our last Airbnb. We have cute, like, separate beds, which is kind of emo, but we'll snuggle.
Okay.
And look at this little window. So cute. And we got all our snacks. And we got a sink. I don't know. We got it all. Carlos also got me some hot cocoa. So yummy. We were seriously so lucky to wake up in this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cottage after having a nice night meeting some other Americans that were staying in this place. It was so cool. And we just got ready and said goodbye and headed to Blue Lagoon. What? It's crazy to me that these mountains that we drove past had accumulated snow overnight, and that these horses were hitting the light just right. So I got some amazing photos with a quick stop we made on our way to Blue Lagoon. And Blue Lagoon was very, very busy already for the first hour that we had gone there. Our time slot was for 9 a.m. and there was still room to, like, enjoy ourselves and do our own thing, but it gets crazy there. Like, this is definitely a big spot. Like, I wonder what Sky Lagoon was like. We also stopped here at Le Coq, which was this little American type restaurant, and it was nice to have some comfort foods. We also stopped at this flea market, and it'd be cool if I had a house to decorate. And we saw these swans, and Carlos and I had a whole debate whether these were swans or not, and of course I was right. No, just kidding. They were so cool, and there was a kid there that had, like, a glove to feed them. It, like, they must be regulars. It was really refreshing just to spend time actually taking our time and walking around, and we popped in a few shops and saw Heli Grimska. I could have butchered that totally, but we also stopped at this little store where I tried on this hat, and it was the cutest thing ever. I just couldn't do that to my wallet, but she's in my dreams. And for dinner, we went to this restaurant that I had eyed earlier when we were at Le Coq, and it was a noodle place. I know, not Icelandic food, but these noodles were really cool. They were thick, and it was the best dish I had there, by far. And we also stopped, and Carlos got a traditional Icelandic hot dog, and so I felt a little better about that, even though I didn't have it. Carlos is driving the car, but I packed all this. I hope I want to get the hell is that sound? Street sweeper? The freak. But I'm grabbing all this and saying bye to Iceland. This is the airport fit. Hell yeah. Ew, my crusty sock. I can't really see it. There it is. At this point, we headed to the airport, and that's all she wrote. It was very bittersweet. It was nice to be heading home, but sad to leave the most beautiful place I've ever been to. But thank you for coming along for the ride, and It's been very sweet and bittersweet, more or less, to reminisce about this trip. And I'm glad and grateful that you guys have joined me, seriously. I've really enjoyed making all these videos, and this trip was so special to me, so thank you for joining me. But next time, maybe I'll have some more Iceland videos. Who knows what's coming next, but thank you for being here along the way. Love you guys. See you soon.